Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. I think it's live stream. Can you mute yourself so that it doesn't echo? Yeah.
It is muted.
I can still hear you. So in the left-hand side corner. I can still hear you. So yes, I think so. It worked. No, maybe I can mute you. It's fine.
Thank you.
Ashodanandana Bhajajanaranga Yashodanandana Bhajajanaranga Yashodanandana Bhajajanaranga Yashodanandana Bhajajanaranga Yamuna Tira Vanachar Munatira Vanachar Yamunatira Vanachar Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari जय विष्णुपाद प्रिय जगच्चर्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रत जगच्चर्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all unto Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 26, verses 2 to 4. Balakasya yaditani karmani ati adbhutani vai katham arhati asau janma Grameeshav Atma Jujukitam. Translation: The cowherd men said, since this boy performed such extraordinary activities, how could he warrant a birth among worldly men like us? A birth that for him would seem contemptible. Purport: An ordinary living being cannot avoid unpleasant circumstances, but the Supreme Controller can always make perfect arrangements for his pleasure. यह सप्तहायनो बाल करे नैकेन लीलया कथं बिभ्रद्गिरिवरं पुष्करं गजराज इव. How could this 7-year-old boy playfully hold up the great hill Govardhan with one hand, just as a mighty elephant holds up a lotus flower? Tokena miliktakshena Putanaya Mahojasa Itasthana Saha Praneya Kaleneva Vayastano. As a mere infant who had hardly yet opened his eyes, he drank the breast milk of the powerful demoness Putana and then sucked out her very life air as well, just as the force of time sucks out the youth of one's body. The word Vaya in this verse indicates youth or lifespan in general. With irresistible power, time takes away your life. That time is actually Lord Krishna himself. But in the case of the powerful witch Putana, Lord Krishna accelerated the time process. Within an instant withdrew the duration of her life. Here the powered men mean to say, how could a mere infant who could barely open his eyes so easily kill a very powerful demoness? Om अज्ञानतिमिरन्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य शतादिने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम करोति वाचालं पंगुलं यतिगिरि यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारं वञ्चकल्पतरुषिकपासिन्दुं च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. An ordinary living being cannot avoid unpleasant circumstances. And this is so wonderfully given in the purport that if this boy is so supremely transcendental or supremely awesome, everything is so good about him, then why in the world is he taken birth over here? Yes, he could have taken birth anywhere else. Yes, why this planet? Why this place? Why this village? Because great people are meant to be somewhere else, right? It's always said that, like if you see that sometimes it's portrayed from humble beginnings they start and then they achieve so many big things, but they do not stay in that same place. They hardly stay in that same place. Even if they stay in the same place, change, it becomes a big place. Right? But over here, the coward men are simply awestruck that Krishna, being such a wonderful child, yes, he's not, it doesn't look that he's merely a human child who can perform these magnificent acts of love or these magnificent acts of mystic powers. Even the yogis will have problems doing it. This guy has not performed anything. Not that he's went to some schools or he's controlled his senses or he's doing underwater tapasya for 80,000 years or something like that. No, he hasn't done any of that. Yes. And that's why they're more and more awestruck that just by birth, you know, like such comics like Superman or something. Superman is not born amongst humans. He's born on some other planet where it is very common to have such powers, right? So similarly, Krishna being the supreme Superman, he is the ultimate Purusha, Parama Purusha, right? Superman, Parama Purusha, right? He is the real Parama Purusha. He can do everything. Everything comes from him. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhe Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He's Sarva Karana Karanam. He's supremely everything. With six opulences Bhagavan. And still, how is he taking birth in such common place like Vrindavan, which is not even a town or a city, just mere a village. Birth that for him would seem contemptible, right? It doesn't make sense. He shouldn't be taking birth over here. Yes, For him, not for us. Yes, we are totally happy that he is here. But for him, it's not a good place. Even then, they're thinking about Krishna. So then, an ordinary living being cannot avoid unpleasant circumstances. I was discussing with my friend yesterday that not in our hand that you can avoid things. Yes, we are not the controllers, right? Aham sarvasya prabhav mata sarvam pravarsate. Iti maktab bhajante vam mood bhava samanita. Yes, aham sarvasya prabhav. Everything is emanating from him, the spiritual and the material worlds. It is in his control. Nobody in this world, whoever they are, whichever scientist it is, whichever atheist person is claiming whatever he claims, whether God exists or doesn't exist at all, you know, it does not matter. Yes. It does not matter. Death is not in their control. Old age is not in their control. The wrinkles on the face are not in his control. And then what control are they talking about? You know? Yes. There has to be a supreme controller. Some like time in itself, you know. Time in itself is so amazing that and just so it is actually an awesome thing that even though you cannot see time, it's actually moving so many things. Yes, it's moving everything. Even a plant which has a new leaf is moved by the forces of time. Yes, because at this second something else, and in another minute or in another hour it is something else. The time has forced things to happen. Yes, we might want to control it. We might want to control the way we live our life and all, but we have to be under the jurisdiction of time, whoever we are. Yes, we have to work according to time. Yes, our Bhagavatam class is at 7:30. It's because nobody will be available to give or take or listen or do anything after 9 o'clock, right? At 9, you'll find everybody going to work. At 8 also, right? And that's why everything is being controlled by time. You cannot control when the things are going to happen. Yes. No, no, but we will all of us will take, come together and now decide that from tomorrow nobody will work at 9 o'clock. Agreed. But time is not going to stop. The daytime, we have daylight saving and all that stuff. That's why we do all of these things in different time zones. Why? So that people can go at an approximate time. Yes. According to time, you're moving. Yes. At night time, we will all study or we will all do our sadhana and everything. How many people can? Yes. It is impossible. And it is by the forces of time we are forced to do things. And that's why cannot avoid unpleasant circumstances. It is impossible to avoid them. By guna, by karma, and by daiva, you know, it is destined. The situations are going to be destined. But whatever we decide in those situations will decide the future destinations. Correct? Right now, if I am Krishna conscious, and tomorrow I will get the benefit that even in worst cases I will be Krishna conscious. But if today I'm not Krishna conscious, then I won't get the benefit tomorrow. Bhakti is nothing to do with time, that's for sure. But in eternal time, it is creating an effect. Yes, it is for eternity. And that's why these aspects, but the supreme controller can always make perfect arrangements for his pleasures. Yes. Even though the kid is so transcendentally supreme, yes, at least it appears that Krishna is supreme over here. Yes, to the coward men. But if he's so supremely, he's the supreme controller, he is like Narayan, then why over here? He is in control of these situations, right? And that's why they continue to say, how could the 7-year-old boy playfully hold up the great hill Govardhan? How is it possible? We just cannot wrap our heads around. Yes. The Brajavasis now place their stick under Govardhan hill. Now just still his pinky fingers. Yes, with what is holding the Govardhan hill. And then all the sticks break, And then Madhu Mangal says, by my power of my Brahmanhood, Krishna is able to hold Govardhan hill above his head. But if nobody can deny, how is it possible? Yes. How can this boy be so powerful? He's not doing push-ups. He's not going to the gym. He's not doing any of those sort of things. Yes. Then how is he over here? Because if he is meant to be so powerful, shouldn't he be going around the world like the common people and then make themselves known in the whole world that I exist, right? Anything which happens great in our world today, it goes into the Guinness Book of World Records or it's on the news. But Krishna is not doing any of that. He's not even going in the heavenly planets and controlling them for being so powerful. He just subdued Indra, right? But he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere and showing them that he is the king of the whole universe. He's not going like Hiranyakashipu, right? Hiranyakashipu, the first thing what these powerful men do, they assert their power in the whole universe, right? These days, we see mafias and everything. And then countries, big countries, they assert their power in the world. But Hiranyakashipu is doing all over the universe, and it is still not enough. Yes, and then people on in this world, or even people like us, they think that we will assert our power and we will become happy. No, we won't. These people never became happy. It's not working out for the great nations, and somehow we will make it work in a small dinky place, you know, and make it work that oh we will be those great people. No, it won't work. And Krishna over here is not going out there. He's just playing like a kid, you know. How is it that this supremely powerful person is not going out there like, all these great people and then asserting his power? No, he's not. That is wonderful, Krishna. He's Is he not the supreme personality of Godhead then? If he was so great, as a great, just a great mystique, that's how they call it. It's like in those ages, everybody was a mystique. So that's why, not everybody, but common. Um, it's like, these movies and all these Harry Potter movies and everything. They show that how the magical world and then the common world go hand in hand together. But that's a fact. In that time, they all knew that these things happened. Right now, we don't believe that's another thing. But it's a fact. These things are there. These mystic people are out there. Yes. Srila Prabhupada, all these acharyas are all mystic. Yes. They just don't use it. They do not need to use it. Even if they know or don't know, they are all mystic. Yes. But Krishna over here being the most supreme Yogeshwara, the most powerful, what kind of a thing and all, whatever that is, he is not asserting anything. Yes. That's why he is the supreme personality of Godhead. There is no need to do that. He doesn't have to show. It's not new for him. Yes. And that's why in the next one, as a mere infant, as a mere infant who had hardly opened his eyes, he drank the breast milk of the powerful demoness Putana and then sucked out her very life as well. Just as the force of time sucks out the youth of one's body, right? And that's why the powerful time is mentioned over here. That nobody has to do anything. Everybody is whatever they have to, they can do their best. Best organic stuff, best superfoods, best quinoas, best acai bowls, best avocados, everything best in childhood. Till the force of time sucks out the youth of one's body, right? Yes. Today one is beautiful, tomorrow that person is not. And they were like on this one of this reel, this guy was saying that you might have what do you call a great character, Yes, great character. What did he say? Great character, great, you know, ethically you might be perfect. You might be a nice guy. You might be doing everything nicely. But if you don't have a nice face, yes, a nice face, or no, 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 he said, if you look ugly, then what is the use of having all those nice things? And I was like, wow, what kind of arrogance. And it's like in the comment section, obviously people are going to comment, right? So then somebody is like, how can you be so arrogant? These things are going to fade away. And then this guy says, no, not till 50. In 50 at least is going to work out. But what after that? We'll see after that, right? And this is what it is. Even that person knows that by power of time, yes, power of time, everything is going to be snatched away. Whatever relationships we have, whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever we have earned, whatever we have asserted, everything is going to be taken away. Whether it is our position, whether it is our power, at death, everything is going to be taken away. It is going to create a void. And sometimes people say, Srila Prabhupada, and it is mentioned, at time, at death, everything is taken away, right? Everything is taken away. So, what does it mean? You know, the power which one person asserted, yes, the love which one person asserted, the wealth which one person asserted, yes, that person cannot enjoy anymore. Yes. Or the power which one had the influence on over the people, now nobody is there to assert that power anymore. It's not that, oh, after me somebody will remain and this and that. No, it's always sentimental. It doesn't actually work out. Yes. And that's why over here, with the power of time, irresistible power of time, everything is taken away. And then Krishna similarly did that. Even Putana was supposed to live this much. He just, in a flick of a second, made it at zero, as if he controlled time, right? But he is time, right? That's where the Vrajavasis are going for. He drank the breast milk and sucked out the very life, just as time, sucks out everything from the body. Yes. And then the Putana being so evil, yes, so evil, he comes with that evil mentality to assert her power, to show the kid who is the boss. And in return, Krishna being very small kid, even then, she tries to kill the baby. And when he is trying to kill then she's like, she goes into this whole big scene that no, no, drop it, leave me, you know. But if it was the other way around, she wouldn't have left either way, right? That's how these things work. These evil people work out there. It doesn't. It's like when it is their time, you know. Then they can be the most evil person. I couldn't care less. Blah blah blah. This and that. And when it is the other way around, then they're like, oh no, I did a mistake. Please leave me. And this is where the most evil people also they do not give up. Like Ravana, Ram even at the end moment is like, okay, fine, you did all this. Just leave. Give Sita back, forget about it. You can go and live and have Lanka back. But no, even then, the arrogance that how dare somebody comes in front of me, whoever it is. And then they get killed by time itself, right? Ram, as time, goes and kills off Ravana. Yes, and that's why it's also mentioned thus in the case of powerful rich Putana. Lord Krishna accelerated the time process. How could a mere infant who could barely open his eyes so easily kill a very powerful demon? Yes, even a great mystic or whatever great people are there, when they are as a baby, what power do they have? No power. That's why the demigods were going after Kayadu. Yes, they were going after Kayadu. Why? Because Hiranyakashipu's son is in Kayadu's womb. And if we kill the womb itself, situation won't show up. That after he grows up, it's not when he comes. Yes, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, when they were born also, they didn't immediately create havoc. It took time, it took tapasya. Hiranyakashipu had to go through so many troubles to get where he is, right? To be where he is. And then he got killed by Narasimha, right? So as a baby, who actually shows power as a baby? Which baby, so many babies are taking birth and they become bodybuilders in the future and they become, strong men and heavy weightlifters and everything. But was he a weightlifter when he was born? Yes. Was he a great diver when he was born? Was he a great, when Michael Phelps was born, was he a great swimmer when he took birth? Or was he swimming in the womb of his mother doing laps in the womb? No, he wasn't, you know. Which none. And so how could Krishna, forget, okay, let's assume that he is a great personality. Let's assume that he is this great, that, he is a mystic power yogi and everything. But at birth, at birth, how can he kill Putana? How can he kill Putana? And then they're thinking about all these things, what Krishna has done till now. And they are just getting, oh my God, how is it possible? Oh my God, how is it possible? Everything what Krishna is doing is so wonderful, so astonishing, so amazing. Krishna is so great, you know. Yes. That's why they're approaching Nanda Maharaj. It doesn't seem like even he is a mystic yogi. It doesn't seem like he is even a demigod. Who can do all these things? It is not possible. He has to be something else. Cannot be even Superman. Even Superman had to, sit in something and then, be sent to Earth to be saved by something else. But over here, who's saving Krishna? When Putana came, he was actually 8 miles long. When she fell, it was like 8 miles long. All the things were dead, you know. The trees were crushed and everything. And that evil person is trying to kill a baby. And then Krishna, as a simple child, he just hooks onto her breast because she grows and everything. And now she wants him to give up. She's actually making him trying to get rid of him, pushing him, pulling him out. But Krishna, there is his small, tiny hands, you know. What power does a baby's hand have? And he's just lax. His feet, yes. Radha Govind Maharaj says, those feet which the mystics, which the devotees, which all the great people are trying to understand, are trying to attain in one way or the other. Krishna being the supreme absolute truth, he is just using them to put them on Putana's breast. The same way when the coward boy men are saying a birth that for him would seem contemptible, right? Why is it contemptible? He doesn't have to do all that. Putna can be killed outside Vrindavan. Even before she enters, she can be killed. He can choke on a peanut, like Maharaj, somebody said. He can choke on a peanut and die. But Krishna still, latches his hands and feet onto Putana's breast. So much comfort. He's just playing on her. What a supremely beautiful Putana is actually. That Krishna made it as a playground. What mercy is Krishna showing? And then Radha Govind Maharaj mentions That is the mercy of the Lord. That is how Karuna Sindhu he is. He is inviting and saying that if Putana comes even with those evil intentions to kill me also, but she is approaching me. Yes. At least she is approaching me. Yes. So what to talk about all those people who are approaching me with great, great devotion. They want to be with me. They want to, spend their time with me. Wouldn't I protect them? Wouldn't I take care of them? Wouldn't I help them? Yes. I am the supreme, seed giving father anyways, Aham Bija Pratapit. He is supremely powerful. And still, you know, the people who are coming to me, with great devotion, with great love, they want to be with me. Wouldn't I protect them? Yes. And that's why now from Putana's passage goes on to say all this, that it is it is with great pleasure that I take pleasure in protecting my devotees. So you come with whatever intentions you have. Yes. At least you'll get the minimum is that you will get liberated. Minimum. Even with the most evil intentions. Because to get liberated also, you have to, like all these Mayavadis and all these great sannyasis who are, trying to merge, or impersonalists and all those people, they are taking so much effort. They're trying to be good, they're not trying to create any karma. Then they have a chance somewhere to actually understand Brahman, right? But what about Putana over here? No, she's just plain simple evil. But she got liberated. She didn't have to go through the tapasya. That's the mercy of the Lord. That's how Karuna Sindhu he is. That's that great Karuna Sindhu, which has no shores, no bottom. Even, and that's why Krishna mentions, approach me, you know. Yes, man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. You do all this. If Putana can get all this, what imagine how much more you can get. Yes. That's why our faith is in Krishna that he'll take care. Our faith is in Krishna, whatever situation it might be, Tathenu Kampasu Sumikshamano, that it might be bad, good, whatever it is. Krishna being the eternal well-wisher, my faith is in him. I should continue to have faith and then chant Hare Krishna. Do my sadhana in a way that he is there in whichever situation, whether it is supremely bad or supremely good. The mechanics of this world are not going to change. But what changes is my mood of taking surrender of Krishna. Yes, my attempt to take surrender of Krishna, that can be done in any situation. And if that is done, that is the success of life. The success of life is in, at least we say it, but we have to say it because it doesn't work out. It's to remind us that it's not to gain so many things, it's not to do so many vacations, it's not to gain power, money, stocks. It's not that, because those things have never given any satisfaction. The only satisfaction is Krishna consciousness. Krishna can give that satisfaction. So we'll stop here today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear us? मैंने कर दिया महाराज, ये ट्राई करो।
मैंने कर दिया।